I'm Sally Stanton and welcome to Snacks and Suitcases, the podcast packed with tips, tricks and real-life stories to make travelling with kids of all ages a whole lot easier and way more fun. And today, it's the best of Snacks and Suitcases so far with me, your host, Sally Stanton, and an extra special little guest later on.
Mom, can I pack all my teddies?
Okay, let's get started. Episode 8. I can't believe we made it, honestly. And when I say we, yes, technically it's just me doing this on my lonesome, but it truly feels like a community. So many of you have messaged me with questions, comments, and encouragement, and it's made this feel like less of a solo project and more like a conversation between friends who happen to love traveling with their kids. Today, it's just you and me, but I wanted to wrap up the season so far, answering some of your brilliant questions from grown-ups and from a few very cute little travelers too. Plus, I'll share some of my favourite moments from the season so far, along with a few lessons I've learned and some bits you haven't yet heard. So whether you're dreaming of your first family adventure or have your suitcases permanently packed and ready to go, I hope this episode gives you a little inspo and a lot of reassurance that you can do it too. So grab a coffee and a snack for yourself, and let's dive into some of the best bits of Snacks and Suitcases so far. It would be remiss of me not to mention the epic ski season we are having in Australia right now, because every day I'm hearing about new snowfalls, 5 centimetres, 20 centimetres, 50 centimetres. I heard that it's on par to be one of the best seasons, and I have not been yet, so I'm very upset. But I think it's important that we take a listen to some of Christy's tips. Now, Christy was my 3rd episode on the podcast. She's an old friend from our snow reporting days at Perisher, and she still lives down in Perisher with her 2 kids. Her tips are excellent. She's on the snow nearly every day with her children. So one of her really great ideas is to do a dress rehearsal with your children if they've never been to the snow before, especially if they're really little. Those one-piece outfits can be a little bit restrictive. So, maybe putting that on your kids at home, getting them in their ski boots at home, getting them trudging around the house, because those things can be really uncomfortable. I pretty much gave up skiing because of that. I swapped to snowboarding because snowboard boots, you can walk around in those no problem. I mentioned in that episode that, I would get my daughter in her ski boots at the hotel or wherever we were staying, the lodge, and then drive up the mountain and walk to the slopes in the boots. But I don't know what I was thinking. I didn't do that. That's insane. Don't do that. You'll be carrying your kids and all their gear. No. You should probably wear something very comfortable, après boots or sneakers, up until you have to get the boots on, like just before ski school starts. Walk in your comfy shoes to the resort. Put your comfy shoes in a locker, then put your boots on. Put your ski boots on then and there, because your kid is not going to walk. You might have to walk quite far from where your car is parked. Sometimes you can get a bus, a shuttle to the top, but you might have to walk quite far. So I would suggest using the lockers and wearing your comfy shoes. Your kids should wear their comfy shoes until they get to ski school. Another tip from Christy, don't cut out ski school. Ski school is a must, even for adults. If you haven't skied or snowboarded in a while, and that could just be since last season, you should probably have a practice, and your instructors can really help you take it to the next level. But kids, definitely sign up for ski school. Please don't try to teach them yourself. It won't be much of a holiday if you do that. Put them in ski school, and as Christy said, drop and run. Don't do what I do and hang around like an anxious mom, making sure your daughter's okay, looking back as you walk away. Yeah, don't do as I do. Do as I say. And high-value snacks. High-value snacks. Christy says jelly snakes, pack them in their pockets, pack them in your pockets, because you're burning a lot of energy at the snow. Now let's take a listen to another high-value tip from Christy.
One tip would be during your ski holidays to actually try and schedule a day off the snow, not even, maybe you don't have to schedule it. Don't be annoyed if you have to have a day off the slopes, because it is exhausting. Like I've said before, it's tiring for the kids. I think they get more tired than a lot of other activities because they're literally keeping themselves warm all day on top of their physical activity. So I think down days are a great idea. Don't want to sound like a huge advocate for screen time, but a movie day in the lodge in front of the fire can be a really fun part of the holiday as well. In Thredbo, they have a fantastic new addition, the Alpine Coaster. It's a roller coaster on the snow, pretty much. Not as hectic as, say, one of the big theme parks, but it's enough. I screamed a bit, I'll admit it, when I first went on it. It gets the G-forces going.
That sounds like so much fun. So if you're in Australia, New South Wales, Victoria, hit up the ski slopes this winter because it sounds like a fantastic season. Okay, Japan. Japan. It is still so popular and I'm still getting a lot of questions about it. By far, it is the most listened to episode, the two of them are, and that's probably because Jo just knows her stuff. I wanted to replay one of Jo's itinerary suggestions because, in particular, Harajuku is an area of Tokyo that I'm getting asked a lot about. And people are saying, is it too popular? Is it too crowded? And yeah, it is very popular and yeah, it is crowded, but I would still recommend it. And so does Jo. It is such a fun place for kids, adults too, but in particular, I think kids will really love it because it's bright, it's colourful, it's kitsch, it has all the really delicious sweet treats. It's all the things that I love. There are a lot of pet cafes there. Now, look, I know some people are not for the pet cafes, but every time I've been really impressed with how well looked after the animals are. We went to the Harinezumi Cafe, which is hedgehog in Japanese, Harinezumi. Mini pig cafe. I saw chinchillas, owls, bunny rabbits, guinea pigs. Of course, there are cat cafes, dog cafes, it's all there and we always have a great time. So take a listen to Jo's idea of a fun Sunday in Harajuku.
So my favorite thing to do is Harajuku and Shibuya put together on a Sunday, because then you've got the Aoyama Farmers Market nearby. And with children, you can buy a whole lot of treats there and kids can practice their Japanese. So they can practice saying like, can I have one apple, please? Like, ringo hitotsu kudasai, and get a bit of practice like that. Get a smoothie. Then you can take your food to your Yoyogi Park, have a bit of a play. You've got Meiji Shrine literally next door. These are not minutes and minutes of walk away even. Right next door, you've got Meiji Shrine. So you've done some traditional, lovely green, beautiful things as a family. Because it's Sunday, you might see some people getting married in traditional Japanese outfit. Then, just to make sure you're not getting too much tradition and culture in your life, you walk across the road and go to Takashita Street, which is that main drag that most people think of. It is touristy, it's kitsch, it's rainbow food. It's amazing with kids. And will you find good quality souvenirs there? Absolutely no. But will you, if grandma wants a magnet for the fridge, that's where you get it. My daughter gets the rainbow cotton candy, fairy floss, that's as big as your head. And then you can go into your print clubs, which is those photo booths with stickers as a family. And that's on that street too from as early as 8 o'clock in the morning. Then you can wander down and get some latte art. And then move on to Shibuya and do crossing and all that sort of stuff. So for me, that's like a massive day. Oh, one thing I forgot, because Sunday in Yoyogi Park, you have the rockabilly dances as well. So these Japanese men who are dressed up kind of like Happy Days. So they've got the big Elvis-style hair and the leather jackets and they do all the dancing. And that's just, it's not a planned event. It's a community who all get together on a Sunday afternoon. That also makes for a really cool day in that area.
That's just one of Jo's many itineraries she has on the Tokyo chapter blog. Seriously, you've got to check that out. And good news, Jo has agreed to come back for another episode next series. So keep listening to the podcast and keep subscribed, because I'll have her back on to answer questions and to talk more about, I don't know, maybe we'll focus on cities like Tokyo or Kyoto. I know Joe has some great ideas already, but you tell me what you would like to hear. Another hot topic, of course, is cruising. It always seems to be in the media for something or other, but cruising remains to be the fastest growing form of tourism or form of travel that we have. So I need to talk about it. And when Rose Kelly, host of Cruise Passenger Podcast, came on, she just made it sound like heaven on earth for kids and for adults. And you know, cruising is a really great form of intergenerational travel. I had somebody ask me, what's a good way to travel with a huge group, your whole family, and everybody wants to do something different? Cruising isn't just about cocktails and sunsets, although those are pretty great too. It's genuinely one of the best ways to travel as a big family, whether you've got grandparents who aren't as mobile, a baby who needs naps and feeds, or kids who just want to run wild in a kids club. Cruising has got you covered. So now let's hear from travel expert Rose Kelly, who knows all about cruising with kids and the incredible activities waiting on board.
You know, so the kids have got everything they could want and dream for in life. They've got the kids clubs, the water slides, the dodgem cars, you know, kids-friendly menus in every restaurant. Dodgem cars, there's panic rooms, there's laser tag, there's wakeboarding and these wave pools. Like the list is endless. It's like Disneyland for kids. And then for the grandparents, they've got everything they could want, from shore excursions that are catered to taking in the most amazing galleries and museums. Everything's easy and taken care of for you. And then on board, you've got these productions at night that are like Broadway musical productions, some of the best shows on earth, and these phenomenal like light up stage productions with the best sound systems and light shows you could imagine.
Oh, listening to Rose, I just want to book that holiday now. It's perfect for every single member of the family. And she mentioned it's like a Disneyland on a ship. Well, of course, there is the Disney cruise liner. And you know what surprised me? Doing this podcast, so many of my guests I've had have been obsessed with Disney. Joe McGregor, Evie Farrell, Luke Jacobs. Luke Jacobs is actually a theme park fanatic, and he wants to travel to every single Disneyland in the world on the cruise ship. I don't know if that's possible, but I wish him good luck. And he, of course, took his little baby girl, Maisie, to Disneyland when she was only 13 months for one of the best experiences of his life.
Right, and I'm a Disney boy, man.
Are you?
Dad? Yeah.
I can see you with Mickey ears on.
Oh, yeah, I've got multiple Mickey ears. So for me, it was a real bucket list to take my daughter to Disney, and we put her in a Belle dress and we went down and we went there for probably one of the most magical days that I've had with my family, because I saw the joy on Rachel's face, and then she saw the happiness on mine when we were getting photos with Minnie, and Maisie just loved it. You know, she got photos with Pluto, Mickey, Minnie, and Darth Vader. And then a couple of weeks later, we went to get photos with Santa, and she hated Santa. We went on Pirates of the Caribbean, and she loved it. I thought she'd be scared, but she loved it. And then it's a small world, but most of it was just going around and seeing the colours, and and she loved watching the roller coasters and stuff like that. But that sort of stuff is, that was kind of cool memory stuff for me. And
Luke was such a great chat. He is hilarious. He has so many great catchphrases that I think just keep him on track to being a great dad.
One of my biggest phrases, though, is food is mood. We're handling the struggle of the juggle. You're better to be looking at it than looking for it. The best and worst thing that's ever happened to us. Teamwork makes the dream work.
I love it. Luke is just so enthusiastic. Another team that makes the dream work is Evie Farrell and her daughter Emmy. Evie's known as Mum Pack Travel or Mum Pack Tours on Instagram. And when Emmy was just 6, so about 10 years ago, Evie took her out of school as a solo mum and they went backpacking together. And they did this on and off for a few years around Southeast Asia and other countries. And now that Emmy is about 16, she is back at school and she is thriving. She's doing an incredible job. She's in all the top classes. But Evie said it was an incredible struggle to teach her the school syllabus while she was travelling. And she wishes she actually unenrolled her from school. And at one point in their travels, she even enrolled Emmy at the international school in Vietnam, and they had the best time. So Emmy has really been influenced by the different cultures around the world, and it's shaped her into this incredibly intelligent, articulate, and resilient teenager.
Attribute to travel is I really love that I can take Em anywhere. I can drop her off somewhere. She won't know anyone and she will still walk into that room. And I think that's a really big thing. And I think that comes from just being out of your comfort zone a lot of the time and having to learn and be in different situations. And I think that's great. I think kids just learn so much from traveling, and there's just so many skills that they can apply when they're at home, and whether that's just independence, as we said, or just the resilience, and that when they learn that things don't always go their way and you have to deal with it. Even just, going to the airport, she's fine. She knows exactly what to do. She's comfortable talking to people. She's comfortable getting on the phone and ringing up and making an appointment, and all of these things that I think you have to have exposure, and we have to allow our kids to have that kind of independence and exposure to. And travel's a great way to do that.
Simone Skinner-Smith has also taken her kids out of school to do a big lap around Australia. She's currently on that trip now, having the time of their lives. And we had a lot of catching up to do in our chat, so I had to cut a little bit out of it. But I wanted to share something that was kind of a little bit funny and a little bit gross. Bear with us, because I think it's vital information you need to know if you're going to travel around Australia in a caravan or anywhere else for that matter.
Yes, it certainly does. And when you're a family of 4, it fills up and you need to empty said toilet cassette at a place called a dump point. Yet another term I had never heard of before this trip. Thankfully, my husband has taken that job onto himself and I am forever grateful for that. I am yet to empty our cassette. But yes, that is also part and parcel of life on the road. This thing looks more like, and this is the only thing I'll say without grossing everyone else out, it literally looks like you're going on a holiday. It's like got a handle. It's a little cassette. It slides out of the caravan and it looks like a little, and it's got wheels, and it's like one of those little trolley bags that you take to the airport and you wheel your cassette to the dump point to empty it. It is hilarious.
Oh my gosh. I just couldn't visualize it though, wheeling around a mini suitcase that's full of sewage. But then I saw it on that travel show called Travel Guides on Channel 9. I love that show. And it is pretty gross watching that happen. I don't wish it on me. But this is all part of the experience of traveling around, going off grid, living the van life, doing the big lap. It's not all what you see on Instagram, everyone. But Simone's still having the best time. Now, looking back on all these stories and guests from Snacks and Suitcases so far, there's been one big running theme through it all. It's not about where we go, it's about who we go with, our kids. And one moment that really stuck with me was something Joe McGregor from the Tokyo chapter said about travelling with kids. This was way back in episode 1 or 2. And it just kind of sums everything up for me.
Well, yes, if you've been to Japan before, children, it is different, but it's actually a really fun kind of different. Lean in to curiosity, as cheesy as that sounds. So if you're trying something new, let's say you're doing onsen or karaoke for the first time, it's cool for kids to be like, I don't know either. Is everyone else taking off their shoes? Oh, they are. Let's put our shoes here. I think that's really special to be like, and then mum didn't know what to do. And so I didn't know what to do. And it was so funny. I think that's cool.
It's so cool. Seeing the world through their eyes and not needing to have all the answers. Honestly, that's what Snacks and Suitcases is all about. Embracing the chaos, the wonder, the we don't know what we're doing, but let's do it anyway moments. Parenthood. And speaking of not having all the answers, I've loved hearing your travel questions throughout this season, so let's get into a few of those now.
How do you keep kids entertained on long car rides or long plane rides?
Okay, this is the most common question I get. How to keep kids entertained, mostly on flights. And I will have an expert on here soon to talk about how to cope, how to survive, what to pack, what to take on flights with babies and children. Car rides, obviously not quite as hard, but these are the tips I've learnt along the way. Obviously, screens, books. One thing though, I throw all the rules out the window when it comes to screen time on planes. You really just want to survive. You really just want your kids to enjoy and have fun. And if that means a little screen time, so be it. I do have one rule where I don't let my daughter watch the iPad until we're up cruising in the sky and the seatbelt sign is off. Is that too strict? Is that good or bad parenting? Oh, who knows these days? In the car as well, I let her use her iPad. But you know, Simone from the Big Lappers, she does not allow her kids to use the screen when they're driving. She's given herself a challenge there, but I totally get it. I mean, they're doing a road trip around Australia to see the sights. It's not like they're driving on boring freeways all the time. Some of the things I have done, okay, so road trips, frequent stops. There are so many fun car trip games. You know, here in Australia, everyone plays Spotto. When we went on a road trip in America, we did the spot every number plate you can from all around the country, which is really fun in America, except you can never find Hawaii or Alaska. That's really tough. For flying and driving, there's something called travel bags and travel trays. Just do a quick Google. These are great. You can even make your own. But the Montessori travel bag is full of all these activities that kids can do, little sensory toys, gadgets, colouring in, puzzles, things to help children with their dexterity and also to entertain them. Keeping in mind, the kids we're talking about, the ones who need to be entertained, would probably be not in school yet, so under school age, preschoolers, toddlers. On a flight, these travel trays are really good because they keep things from falling onto the ground, which is what you want to avoid on a plane. You can buy them in Kmart. I mean, that's so affordable. Or make your own. I used to get old toys and wrap them up, and that would buy you some time on a flight. Some people go and buy cheap toys, but, just use something that's lying around the house that your kid hasn't played with in weeks, because I assure you, you will find something, right? There's always something that they've forgotten about, especially at that age. Also, those little water paint books are great. They used to hand out those mini Magnadoodle things. I think that was on Qantas and Virgin, but haven't received them in a long time, and also my daughter wasn't interested. She really wasn't. I'd bring Play-Doh, little figurines like Paw Patrol. That was one of her favourites. She was really good with imagination games. She'd also use those cloth dolls where you can put different clothes onto the dolls. That would entertain her for ages because she would make characters out of them. Magnet books are excellent. I had a magnet book that we used and I left it on a bus in Osaka on the first day of our trip. Yeah, that was a mum fail. There are so many options. Snacks, of course, snacks. That's a given. Those bento boxes where you have lots of different compartments. You can get ones with like 10 compartments now. They're used for jewellery and stuff at home. You can fill each one with little different things, maybe snacks like sultanas, blueberries. Kids love sorting. Make sure they get all the sultanas into this one or into this pink one. I think it's actually a hack on TikTok, although that could get really messy on a flight. If you spill that, the flight attendants, they're not going to like you. And what about singing in the car? Good old-fashioned carpool karaoke. My daughter could sing from Sydney to the Gold Coast and back. So perhaps invest in a good pair of headphones for yourself.
How do you avoid meltdowns, be it yours or the kids, when you're travelling?
Oh, I wish I had the answer, but I do have some advice, of course, to help prevent meltdowns from you and your kids. Snacks, snacks, and more snacks. Am I right? Yeah. I can speak to this because I get hangry. Oh, you do not want to find me when I'm hungry, angry. So I do tons of research when I'm going on holidays about the restaurants in the area. I also make sure we're eating at the right time. I'm keeping my eye on the clock. I know when my daughter's got to eat. In fact, she's one of those snackers. She just wants to eat all day long, little bits here and there. I do a supermarket shop when we get there. I bring my own snacks. I find out what restaurants are in the area that we're going and I make reservations in advance. I make sure they have kids' menus. I make sure it's food my daughter will like. I will bring along little extra things if I have to. I'm very, very thorough in this part of it. If you're going to somewhere like the Snow, make sure you book restaurants in advance because places like that, they book out, especially at kid-friendly times because there's so many families there. And think about your day. Skiing, snowboarding is exhausting. You might not want to go out. Make sure you leave enough time between getting home and that dinner reservation because you have to change all your clothes. You've got to warm up. You've got to get energy. It might be better if you just order in that night. Even make sure you can get Uber Eats or deliveries in that area or you stop on the way back. Just be super organized when it comes to food because that can help prevent meltdowns. Okay? I know I'm passionate about this, but when it comes to food, I know it really does affect your mood. And so does Luke Jacobs. Also, another thing is be really organized, allow lots of downtime, and also be easy on yourself and your kids. Don't try to cram too much in.
What is the best option to entertain teenagers aging 13 and 15? I travel with the kids and I did holiday with when they're little and it's different. Now they get bored easy. What's the best option?
Oh, teenagers, such a special age. When I was a teenager, I remember going to America. I was 14 and I thought it was just the best thing ever. Disneyland, Hollywood, celebrity tours, I was so into it. But I don't know if they're really into that sort of stuff these days. I did my own research and I spoke to a few teenagers. I got them to actually communicate with me. And you know what they said? Japan. They love Japan. And Korea. They're so into K-pop. They're so into K-beauty and they really want to see where it all comes from and I guess how it's all manufactured. I want to go there too. You know what's great about teenagers though? They're old enough to research their own activities. You pick the destination and then send them to the computer, yay, screen time, to research what they want to do. I would suggest getting out there and doing active things like climbing the Sydney Harbour Bridge, treetop adventures, they're all over the world, zip lining, that's pretty fun, horse riding, why not something like that? I'm sure a lot of teenagers would love the beach. Vintage shops seem to be all the rage. Find somewhere with some great vintage shopping. Even country towns have great antique and secondhand stores. If they're coming to Sydney, I know Sydney very well. If you're an animal lover, they have this awesome thing called Paws and Paints, and you can do a painting session with little puppies. It's the cutest thing I've done it. My daughter's done it. We all love it. Chocolate factories. I mean, these are kind of a little bit different to the mainstream tourist stuff. I'm trying to help you with ideas that just, you kind of have to dig a bit deeper. You can look up sites like Time Out in advance and see what events are coming up. If your kids are into sport, maybe go and do maybe a tour of an arena or a stadium like Wembley Stadium in London or one of those big arenas where their favourite football team plays. I'm a huge tennis fan and I just looked into doing a tour of Billie Jean King Tennis Centre in Flushing Meadows, New York. I'd love to do a tour of Wimbledon. I wonder if you can. I'm going to look into that. Kids love anime. Visiting a manga museum in Tokyo, going to Akihabara and all those kind of places, Ikebukuro in Tokyo, where there's so many colourful lights and they do a lot of manga and anime inspired events and there's shops and pop-ups. It's just countless. Like just look up at the billboards. Look to see what concerts are on. Maybe Sabrina Carpenter's playing in the city they're going to. Maybe you're going to Auckland and Sabrina Carpenter's coming. I'm sure there are ways to enjoy a holiday with your teenagers. And the best bit of all, they can do their thing, you can do your thing, and you can meet up. How great's that?
Do cruise ships have roller coasters on board?
Oh, that's so cute. I love hearing from kids. Okay, so I did a bit of research and guess what? They do have roller coasters on cruise ships. There's one called the Bolt Sea Coaster, and it's on 3 different Carnival cruise ships. Unfortunately, these 3 cruise ships are based in the US and around the Caribbean, Caribbean, however you say it. They don't come to Australia yet. But there is a new Disney cruise liner being created, being built right now. It's due for release at the end of 2025. And that ship is set to have the world's longest, I believe, roller coaster at sea. It's on a ship. And this Disney cruise liner sounds like it's going to be epic. It's going to be based around Singapore. I think that's where the port will be, so it's travelling around Southeast Asia perhaps, which is good news for us in Australia. It may come here, so stay tuned. Oh, I just love getting questions from kids. If your child or you would like to send me a question, you can just record it into your voice memo app on your phone and send it via email, snacksandsuitcasespodcast@gmail.com. And don't worry, I'll include all that in the show notes. And speaking of kids, I thought it was only fitting to wrap up this episode with some of their voices. I asked a bunch of little travellers to share their favourite holiday moments, and they did not disappoint.
My favourite holiday was New Zealand because it was the first time I ever saw snow, and I went skiing with my mum to Singapore. It was a little bit hot.
When I went on a road trip to Tasmania, and my favourite things that I did there was when I went to the Big Penguin and when I went on the longest zip line in Australia.
My favourite holiday would be to go to Fiji because there's so many fun water slides and fun activities and you get to taste coconuts. I love the hair braiding as well. My favourite place is Jackson Hole in America because deer and fox come up to our front window and we sometimes feed them too. And once we went down these really big fast hills and it was really fun and my mum was screaming really loud and it was really funny.
Wow, these kids have been on some pretty incredible holidays and mums don't scream, do they? Do I ever scream?
You do on roller coasters.
Yeah, that's the only time.
And with rats.
Okay, this is my daughter Piper. She's joining me on the podcast, my special guest right at the very end because you are one of the stars on this podcast, aren't you?
Mum, can I pack all my teddies?
Oh my gosh, that's you. So what about you? Where has been your favourite destination so far?
Definitely Japan.
Why?
Because firstly, it's my cultural land.
That's right.
And secondly, it's just the best place. If you're looking for yummy foods, it's definitely the place to go.
Oh my gosh, lots of udon. That's Piper's favourite. And why else?
Because the puppy cafe, I'm obsessed with puppies.
Yeah, we went all the way there for the puppy cafe. You loved it. It was so cute.
Might have took a long time waiting, but it was worth it.
We didn't have to wait when we got there though, did we? Straight in.
No.
And the dogs loved you so much. We also went to the pig cafe.
I have 4 pigs on me.
Yeah.
At once.
You're the pig whisperer. Where do you want to go next for a holiday?
I want to go to New Zealand.
Really?
Yeah.
You know you've been there?
I know.
What do you want to do in New Zealand? Ski?
Yeah.
Good choice, good choice. Now, I have got 5 fast questions for you today. You're my special guest.
I want to give you 5 fast questions.
What, me?
Yeah, you.
What? What do you mean? You've got some, have you?
I have some.
Oh my gosh, she's written some down. You've researched? Let's do it.
Question number 1. What's the most mum thing you've ever done on a holiday?
What does that even mean? Most mum thing?
I remember.
Most mum thing? I don't know. What do you think the answer is?
I think the answer was trying to make the holiday perfect.
Oh, you're right. And was it?
Yeah.
That's okay. Nothing's perfect.
Question number 2. Have you ever had a total travel meltdown? And if you have, what happened?
A total travel meltdown. Okay, when Daddy doesn't pack enough snacks, I get hangry.
I'm the one who gets hangry. You're the one who just gets angry.
Where are the snacks?
I want my snacks.
Yeah, you don't want to be around us when we're hungry.
Question number 3. What's your proudest moment of traveling with me?
Oh my goodness, when I see you pulling your little trolley suitcase along, you know, your little wheelie suitcase along at the airport, heading to the gate, not even having to ask me which direction to go, that makes me so proud. You're a little traveller.
I'm a big traveller.
Okay, sorry, you're a big traveller.
Question number 4. Which place made you laugh the most?
Probably the pig cafe in Japan, because the pigs just did not stop squeaking, did they?
Like this.
They were like squeaky toys. You know where else
My
made
friend
me...
snorts when she laughs. Yeah. Question number 5. Can you speak another language right now? Say something.
はい、日本語を話すことができます。I can speak Japanese. Well, I've forgotten a lot, but I try.
Now, I've got one final big question for you.
What, is this a bonus?
Is there a place you want to take me that you've been keeping a secret?
Oh, a secret?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of some fun places we can go to.
But it says to tell me. What if I go out of here and then you tell them?
Okay. She's leaving the room. I'm thinking about a holiday to either Hokkaido in Japan. Oh, she heard. I didn't even... Well, Piper, I think we should wrap up this episode. What do you think?
Yeah.
I've had a blast bringing you season 1 of Snacks and Suitcases. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't listened to all the eps yet, please go back and find them. If you like something in this episode about Japan, about cruising, Luke Jacobs, Evie Farrell may have inspired you to backpack around the world with your daughter or your child, and even doing a big lap around Australia. I mean, how amazing would that be, right? You'd love to do that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Please leave a review, stay subscribed, share this episode with your friends. But until next time, happy travels!
And don't forget the snacks. I'm hungry.